Hello class, today we're going to learn about zero and negative exponents. So here we have 5 to the third divided by 5 to the third. So when we write it out, you guys learned the other day you do 5, 3 minus 3. So let's see why 5 times 5 times 5, 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, we talked about a little bit the other day about this. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So if you had 5, 3 minus 3, you would have 5 to the 0 power. And that is always going to equal 1. Any number, any non-zero number to the 0 power will equal 1. Okay, so the same thing, 6 squared divided by 6 squared. 6 times 6, 6 times 6. Okay, and then 6 divided by 6 is 1. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So you'd have 6, 2 minus 2, which equals 6 to the 0 power. And any non-zero number to the 0 power equals 1. Okay, here's another one. So here we're going to have negative exponents. You cannot have negative exponents. We need to turn them into positive exponents. So I think of the negative exponent as my fraction bar. So 3 to the 4th power is going to go in the denominator. If I don't have anything up top, I put a 1. And then we simplify. What is 3 to the 4th power? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. So 3 to the negative 4th power is 1 over 81. Okay, negative 8.5 to the negative 4th times negative 8.5 to the 4th power. So here we have product of powers property. So you do negative 4 plus 4. So negative 8.5. Negative 4 plus 4, which we know is 0. So any number to the 0 power, your answer is going to equal 1. And we just went over the reasoning why in the last slide. So here, remember, when we divide numbers with the same bases, we subtract the exponents. So 2, 6 minus 8. We're going to have 2 to the negative 2nd power. We can't have a negative power, so that's going to be the same as 2 squared goes on the bottom. The fraction bar is like, the negative is like the fraction bar. We put a 1 up top. So 1 over 2 squared, or 1/4. Okay, let's try some more. So m to the 0 power, we know any number or variable to the 0 power equals 1. The second one, there's a negative on the outside. Okay, so I know my answer is negative something. Well, 6 to the 0 power is 1. S squared times 0 is s to the 0 power equals 1. And t, 4 times 0 is 0, which equals 1. So negative 1 would be your answer for that. Okay, the third one. So when we simplify, x squared to the 0 power, 2 times 0 is 0, so that's a 1. Here we have 5, so I'm just going to write the 5 down. And then we have y, 2 to the 0 power, 2 times 0 is 0. So that would equal 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. So 1/5 would be your answer. Okay, a to the third, b to the negative 8th. So I know I need a fraction, and b to the 8th is going to go on the bottom. Because a to the third is a positive exponent, it stays in the numerator. That's your answer. Done. So any negative exponents get moved to the bottom. So here, I'm going to make my fraction bar. So 3 to the negative second, so 3 squared goes on the bottom. X to the 5th is a positive exponent, so that's going to stay on top. Y to the negative 6th, y to the 6th goes on the bottom. And then we just simplify 3 squared. So x to the 5th is going to stay as our numerator. 3 times 3 is 9. And then y to the 6th power. Okay, so I see negative exponents, so I know I need a fraction bar. So 7 is going to stay up top. There's nothing to the negative power for the 7. X to the negative 6. So x to the 6 is going to go in the denominator. And then y squared stays in the numerator. So that's your answer, 7y squared over x to the 6th. All right, pay attention to this one. Okay, so I see 1/5 to the negative second power. So I make my fraction bar. 1/5 squared is my denominator. So I have to put a 1 in the numerator. So now I'm going to solve. 1 over 1/5 times 1/5. So we have a complex fraction, so I like to make it dark. So 1/5 times 1/5 is 1/25. Remember, the fraction bar means to divide. So this is saying the same as 1 divided by 1/25. And the fraction rules for division keep, change, flip. You have to change the reciprocal, 1 over 25. So we have 1 times 25 over 1, which equals 25. So 1/5 to the negative second power equals 25. Okay, let's look at a real world application. 1 drop of water leaks from a faucet every second. How many liters of water leak from the faucet in an hour? Well, we know that there are 60 seconds in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, and 60 minutes in an hour. So 60 times 60 is 3,600. So 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. We know a drop of water is 50 to the negative second liter, which when we write it as a fraction, it's 1 over 50 squared. 50 times 50 is 2,500. So now we're going to multiply 36 times 1 over 2,500. I'm going to put 3,600 over 1. So 3,600 times 1 is 3,600. 1 times 2,500 is 2,500. Okay, whenever I see zeros in the numerator and zeros in the denominator, it's like dividing by 100, and that was just 2 zeros. So now we have 36 over 25. Well, 25 goes into 36 one time with 11 left over. So 1 and 11/25 liters leaks out of the faucet in an hour. I hope this helped you understand zero and negative exponents. Have a great day.